Episode 1, Surviving the Silly Season, Energetic Protection, Boundaries, and Staying Sane.
The holiday season, not the silly season, the holiday season brings lights and lots of salivation. But for others, it brings sorrow, remembering those who are no longer with us. The stress of having to fork out money that people don't have and on the crap that no one needs.
Well, for others, it creates issues and power games around spending time with people they don't even really want to see, let alone play happy families with. Obligations like this can make us feel so very grinchy.
And finally, for many witches, healers, empaths, and sensitives, it also means energetic overwhelm, more social obligations, emotional triggers, a tidal weight of collective energy, as well as the frustration of knowing the truth about Christmas.
So, welcome to the first episode of our podcast. I'm Alissandra Moon, founder of Raven Moon Academy and author of Shadow Alchemy.
Oh, and I'm Karnie, complex trauma therapist, Reiki master, soul whisperer, and shadow whisperer. And I work with helping people heal their inner child wounds and step into their personal empowerment and integrate their soul alignment.
We're actually really excited to be finally bringing this podcast to life. We have talked about it for so long now, and we are actually doing it. So I hope that you enjoy listening and watching, if you're watching the video, as much as we are enjoying creating this. So welcome, Luminous Soul.
There's been lots of laughter along the way, hasn't there?
Absolutely. And knowing us, I dare say there's going to be quite a few rabbit holes and twists and turns and tangents. Hopefully it's entertaining though. I'm sure it will.
Welcome, beautiful soul, to Surviving the Silly Season, the energetic way. I'm so grateful to be here. This is a space for sensitives, witches, healers, and light workers who feel the world so very deeply, especially when the festive chaos begins to spin. Together, we'll journey through this season with awareness, energy wisdom, and compassion, learning to stay connected to our truth, even when the world feels loud. In today's episode, we're exploring the collective energy of the silly season, why so many of us feel heightened emotions, fatigue, or stress at this time, and how to begin cleansing gently the static from your field so that your light can shine brighter than ever. Let's have a look at the collective energy bubble, how the rush, expectations, and emotional intensity of the season create an energetic storm. As empaths, we absorb other people's energy, whether we realize it or not. The collective rush creates an urgency and stress spiral that we soak up just like a sponge. Most of us forget to ask if this shift in frequency is ours or someone else's. We may feel off, we just forget to go within and ask why. Why would that be? Well, we're probably rushing around like headless chooks ourselves. And from the moment we step outside of our front door, we are bombarded with other people's energy. And during the silly season, this intensifies. Our nervous system is overloaded from crowds, from noise, from malls or shopping centres, depending on where you live, and other people's frantic energy. And we also receive an emotional residue from people, places, and the reactivation of shitty family history.
The intensity of the silly season puts a spotlight on our suppressed shadows. These are the parts of ourselves that we bury deeply and don't always acknowledge. Sometimes we hide them deliberately, and sometimes they're complete blind spots. Generally, these shadows make us feel very uncomfortable because they're unresolved parts of self. They might show up with things like comparison, obligation, guilt, old programming, people-pleasing, and martyrdom. See, shopping centres are freaking energetic war zones, and many sensitives hate them and will avoid them like the plague. And, social media, it's just all about comparison and people posting negative things all of the time. And around this time, every little thing, it just compounds and creates a massive dumpster fire of energy.
Ellie, when I was younger and my kids were younger, I used to go to the shopping centres at 4 a.m. in the morning to do
Wow.
my Christmas shopping because there was no one around. And we had the absolute best time. I remember once where the grandkids came over and they slept over. We woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the shopping centre. Ben stayed up all night. I think we went to Macca's or somewhere like
Mhm.
that afterwards. But it was just so wonderful watching them being able to run around the shopping centre too because no one was there and none of the energy was being absorbed or picked up.
Oh, yes. That sounds amazing. And I don't blame you. I have been known to do the same thing, or often very, very late on Christmas Eve. But as you know, I myself don't love celebrating Christmas and as it is so much. I just like the getting together with the family and then, just the enjoyment of kids opening things. But it can be very, very overwhelming, and so being able to have that with your kids and grandkids, or with your son and your grandkids, they're special memories. That's your own little tradition, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And it's really interesting too, because it shows you so much about your children and your grandkids as well. Like, one of my grandchildren, he wanted everything, but he would change his mind like 30 times in the shopping centre. He'd have spent his money and then he'd go, no, 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 now I want this. I'm like, right, something has to go. What's going to go? And the whole shopping cart would be completely thrown out and he'd be starting all over again.
Oh.
Like, it was so funny. It really, really was. A bit of personalities come out too. It was kind of a ritual for
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's so lovely. And it's easy to forget those little things and get so caught up in the comparison and what has to be done and the ticking boxes and making sure everybody else is happy.
Yep.
But it's finding the joy in little things like that
Yep.
that makes it special.
100%. Well, we also set up our decorations every year as a family on the first Friday generally of
Mhm.
December. And, that's a really beautiful event. I remember one year, which was so funny. I had everyone arrive at my place to set up Christmas, and we'd moved house the year prior, thrown out the Christmas tree. We actually didn't have a Christmas tree, and they were coming to set up the Christmas tree.
Oh no.
My eldest son, God bless him, he said, "Oh, look, I'll just go and buy one."
Oh,
And so he dashed out to go and buy a Christmas tree, and we just nibbled on the foods and stuff that were around while he was gone. So yeah, but like they're the kinds of things you never forget. You
yeah,
just never forget those funny moments. Yeah,
absolutely. And I'd love to hear the listeners' beautiful memories as well, whether of childhood or later in life. Like, I have some wonderful memories of Christmas growing up as a child. Although we weren't, well, half of my family weren't religious. Mum loved it. She loved going all out and putting it on, and having an open house for all of the people who didn't have family, especially the elderly neighbors. And so that was very beautiful. And yeah, I'd love to hear the memories that other people have around Christmas.
yeah, yeah, cool. All right, let's have a look at empaths and sensitives and why you absorb this energy and how to notice the signs in your field when it's overloaded. So our auric fields are more porous when we're depleted energetically, we're stressed, or we're caught up. What does that mean? That means we can absorb energy much more easily. And generally, because we're run down, we don't actually realize it's happened. It's happening. During these moments, people are more inclined to revert to childhood archetypes and roles that they would have been expected to play, allow old wounds to resurface and come and just explode, creating havoc. So it's like the naughty children come out to play. They can feel pressured to people please, overcommit, say yes, 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 left, right, and centre, or feel responsible for other people's comfort. And I've actually got a story at this point about something that happened when my older kids were just heading into the teen years. And I had a friend who said that he knew someone who was going to be in Melbourne over Christmas who didn't have anywhere to go. Could I let him come to my place for Christmas? And there was a whole heap of things that weren't actually spelt out very clearly. So he ended up staying at my place overnight. So I had a stranger stay in my place overnight. And the deal was he was going to do astrology readings. We would bring him for Christmas. Didn't know him, didn't know his energy. had no idea of what his background of trauma was. And the first thing he did when we pulled in, when we were driving home, we went to a park because the kids had been in the car for so long, was he yelled at my kids because they were pushing him too fast on a ride and made him feel unsafe. But they didn't understand it was going to trigger him. And I had to set a really severe boundary. So here I am playing mother to this adult male who I don't know. It was very uncomfortable. He did energy and astrology reading for me in the morning, which was lovely. But my children had by that stage gone to their dad's house for Christmas Eve. So I had a strange man staying in my place overnight who I didn't know, who was doing an astrology reading first thing with me in the morning. The reading was fine, but then he decided he wanted to dance with me. And it was very bizarre. And so he's doing all of these Austin power moves in my kitchen. And I'm trying to keep a straight face and not laugh, but it was very, very hard. And fortunately, because I had so much food to prepare, I was able to say, hey, look, I need to get some food done too. And that was cool. Now, he offered readings to anyone who wanted them. And one of the guests, who was family, a very close family, decided she would take him up on that offer. And she was going through some deep grieving at the time because her husband had died. It was really a challenging time for her. And as we were downstairs eating and, being frivolous and having a lovely time together as a family, we suddenly heard him scream from the top, from the top room that he was reading for this person with, "Oh my God, she's an energetic vampire." So we had that to deal with as well. And because he'd made her feel so uncomfortable, she reverted into a really bad, naughty inner child. And she and her mother then began throwing each other looks about how much food he was piling on his plate and laughing. He had no awareness, but it was very naughty of them. It was one of the most horrific Christmases I've ever had in my life. And it all came out of that need to people please, I've always felt sorry for people who don't have somewhere to go at Christmas. And I've often invited people I know to come, but, it's quite different to invite someone into your house and there was no explanation about them being, that they would be staying the night, they would be staying for a couple of days. Like it was just a yes, yes, yes. And when I later had the conversation with the person who'd suggested it, he'd met them once. He didn't even know this person either. He just felt sorry for them as well. It was truly one of the weirdest Christmases I'd ever experienced. My kids and I will still laugh about, that experience and how it went down.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I've had some doozies of Christmas, but that one really stands out.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised.
But
But
that's people pleasing at excess, isn't it?
oh, it sure is. Yeah, when once you do say yes and you realize that you're in too deep, it's really hard to backpedal or to put boundaries in place or even to say, look, you got to leave. And so, more often than not, we don't. And we get depleted and then we beat ourselves up about it. And all sorts of things can happen, as you found out.
Yeah, I think for me, I was kind of lucky that my family's always been really quirky and we saw the
Mm.
funny side of it. And being able to laugh about it meant that we didn't end up as depleted as we could have been.
Oh, for sure.
To invite someone into your house who's going to abuse your family, like,
Mm.
it really wasn't great.
No. And yeah,
Particularly someone who's grieving, who's going through a tough time. Yeah, she probably was an energetic vampire, but there were reasons for that.
that's it.
She couldn't fill her own cup.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It just wasn't the compassion there to understand.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. And I think in later episodes we actually talk about that and how grief affects your energy field. And so my goodness. Yeah, I can't, I'm still stuck on the fact that even the other person had only just met them as well.
Because the thing was, I trusted the other person. I would have
Mm,
done anything to support them. So I was doing it as a favor to them,
yeah.
believing that, their judgment was in sync with mine. But, and I suppose it was because we both just felt sorry for the
Mhm.
person in the situation, and we were both people pleasing. So it
Yeah,
just wasn't the in sync I thought it was.
yeah. Oh, it's fantastic though that it is something that you can laugh about. It could have gone very differently, but luckily, although it was not pleasant, it's something that you can look back and laugh at, which is good.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I think in all honesty, the Christmas wasn't the big challenge. It was the way he attacked my kids.
Mm.
But he pulled his head in really quick when my mother tiger came out to play.
Oh, I bet. Um, well, we do have a little practice that we can go through, which is calling your own energy back. And it, it's probably good in situations like that, actually, where you are uncomfortable. It can be used, gosh, in any kind of situation, really. And it's also kind of essential when you need to know what is yours, what is someone else's. And this is a mini version of something that we do in our Foundations of Personal Energy certification course. We are actually running round two. The doors are open for that. We're running it toward the end of this month. So if you are interested, get in touch. And yeah, hit us up if you want to know anything about any of our other work that we do. Okay, so if you are currently driving, don't close your eyes and maybe save this for later. But if you are somewhere where you can sit down and take a moment to just relax, take a deep breath and bring that breath all the way down, right down to the base of your spine. And as you exhale, just release the tension in your body. Repeat that again and release. Now take your attention to your center point. This may be around your navel, your solar plexus chakra, your heart, or wherever it feels right for you. And now I would like for you to imagine a little magnet, a magical magnet, and it's glowing and pulsing. This is your energy core. Now set the intention by saying out loud or in your head, I call back all of my energy, all that belongs to me that has been taken, left behind, forgotten, or given away from all times, places, spaces, and lifetimes. And now, as you breathe deep, imagine all the little bits of energy, the fragments coming back into your field, being pulled in by the magnet in your core. And now, as they are coming in, this magnet is also a magical filter. Anything that is called back that may be unhelpful or unnecessary will be immediately neutralized as soon as it hits the core so that it can be used to power you or be used to create something beautiful. And when you feel ready, when you've called all that scattered energy back, you're going to balance it through your breath by expanding it out to fill your body, blowing it up like a balloon with every breath, then expanding it outside of your body so that it creates a sphere around you in your energy field. And just purifying the energies that are surrounding you in your field. And I like to imagine it like a big spinning wheel that's going around and sorting everything out. And then when you feel ready, call it back in and compact it back into your center, letting it all settle, coming back. And if you like, you can ground after this. I actually do recommend grounding afterward, but hopefully you feel centered and replenished, that you have brought your energy back into yourself where it belongs.
That was really super cool.
No, thank you.
What happened?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. I used to love playing with magnets when I was a little child. That was kind of cool. It was like a childhood revisitation.
Mhm.
So it started out as an orange circle, and then it shifted to a massive A4 size of like a sheet metal of silver that was spinning, was like moving around, collecting energy in a circle anti-clockwise.
Mhm.
And when it went into my body, it turned the other way.
Oh,
And spinning, but it was like a universe, like a Earth or a universe spinning, but clockwise around my body. And I could actually feel the colors moving around. It was really kind of beautiful. And I didn't feel the need to ground afterwards. I'd also grounded this morning though. So yeah. So that was really cool. Really cool.
beautiful. Amazing. Thank you. Well, maybe that's why I felt the need to use the magnet
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. Perhaps. Because we're never in sync, you and I, are we?
Oh gosh. Yeah, exactly.
That brain share we have.
Oh, yeah. For anybody who's new to our world, yes, Karnie and I do tend to share a brain a lot of the time. We are so connected and so in sync. It is ridiculous.
Even our animals are in sync. So our animals will do a lot of the things that the other animal is doing. Yeah, which is crazy. Just
Oh,
crazy.
it really is. It really is. And
Crazy but beautiful at the same time.
oh, it truly is. And yeah, again, love to hear if any of you have a similar experience with anyone.
Yeah, for sure. Whew, okay. I'm full now. I
Yes.
just feel like I've eaten a big meal.
We sort of have.
Oh, no, it was my Christmas lunch. Okay, so let's have a look at some different aspects in relation to Christmas now. That silly season. Where do I lose my energy during most during the season? Buying gifts, wrapping them up, keeping up appearances is a mega, mega, mega one. Saying all the right things when you want to say something completely different, and sometimes just even turning up when you don't want to be there. The financial side, that is a massive, massive strain, overspending, feeling that you need to buy certain things or spend equal amounts for everybody with money you just don't have. The meal planning and the cost of that as well too. Decorations, cleaning. Like in my household as a child, my dad literally used to get out the white glove leading
Oh,
into Christmas, and he would go around on all of the furniture and work out which needed to be dusted and polished more, insanely. I don't think anyone who came ever noticed, but he knew. So I always feel that pressure when I feel his energy around, I feel like he's going to get out the white glove on me. So social gatherings, planning and organizing things in the first place, who's able to attend which, what's going on for them, when they can do breakfast, when they can do lunch, when they can do tea, all of the juggling in the air that's got to be organized for that to occur. Travel logistics, just connecting with others, particularly if they're people you don't want to be connected with, and just circumnavigating. You're not trying to spin your mind around things that you don't want to unfold, or just behaving like a headless chook.
Yeah, absolutely. And when these things happen, we really need to think about what helps us to return to that calmness and clarity. And one thing that I recommend is creating some scripts for yourself ahead of time before you need to use them. And scripts as well for how you can say no to people. So, for example, thank you so much for the invite. I really appreciate it. I'm just keeping my schedule light this week because I know I have a busy week coming up, or something like that. But just work it out so that you can be saying something positive and declining at the same time, protecting yourself. And look, there are going to probably be some people who make it hard for you. It goes without saying. But just remember that your well being, your health, your wellness, your energy is important. It is more important than whether someone else gets the shits because you don't do what they want you to do. And if they're used to you always bending over and giving in and doing whatever it is they want, then they are likely to get a bit cranky because you're not giving to them anymore. They're not feeding off you, essentially. Okay. So just prepare yourself for that. Learn to stand firm. And I promise the first time is the hardest, but it does get easier and it feels really good.
And of course, no one can set that boundary on your own
Mm.
choices but you. So if you're not keeping the bar where it needs to be, then people are going to be taking advantage of it.
No, absolutely. Like we teach people how to treat us,
Absolutely.
through how we treat ourselves and what we let them get away with.
Yeah.
If we keep giving in, they're going to keep pushing. But your energy and your sanity needs to be priority. So doing little things like switching off the fucking news is huge. And every time I say that, people come back at me with, oh, but I need to know what's going on in the world. I need to keep up with things. Look, honestly, do you? Is it helping you? Is it making you feel good? No, it is not. It's stressing you the hell out. It's draining your energy and it's keeping you in that loop of negativity and bullshit and fear and anger. And the more people that are feeding into that and playing that game, the stronger it is, the harder it is to remove yourself from. But Karnie and I are both non-news watchers, and it's one of the best things I've ever done.
21 years for me.
Yep, there you go. And I bet you're just like me. If you go somewhere or there happens to be news on somewhere and you see it or hear it, it immediately makes you feel horrible.
What's interesting, because I drive my son to and from work, and I hadn't really realized that the radio was affected
Mm-hmm.
until I started talking about some of the things that I'd been listening to on the radio. And so now when the news comes on, I just flick on a CD.
Yeah.
And that's so much easier,
Mm-hmm.
way easier to listen to a bit of INXS and the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, absolutely.
Nostalgia.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And people who have the radio on in the background all day at work, it's programming them, and like the late night news or the early morning news, when you're in that really vulnerable state, you're already probably in an alpha state, which is when you are so open to suggestion. It's feeding you. It's feeding you the stuff that you really don't need in your life. And as we mentioned before, the same as social media. So get rid of the news, detox from social media and from people who are just no good for you. And I guarantee it will improve your life quite a lot. So, just before we move on, Karnie, a question that is good to ask is, what part of me believes that I owe my exhaustion to others?
Mm.
Ask that question and do a little bit of digging, and you might be surprised at the answer. And hopefully, it'll be helpful for you.
Likely to be an old story from childhood. Childhood, I'd be thinking,
Mm-hmm.
or some self-worth issues coming up there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, so we are actually coming to the end of our first episode. So please do leave us a review. We love feedback. Share our episodes with Sensitive Friend and check out our courses if you want to go deeper into this. Karnie, do you want to?
Yeah, so I've got a course on healing with the archangels at the moment that I'm running for 30 days. It's got 30 hours of healing in it. It's an evergreen program, so you'll have it for life. We're looking at 15 different archangels and the archetypical energy that they bring. So what you can call upon them to help with. There's 30 meditations, 15 mantras, 15 affirmations, and 30 hours of healing for $99. So it's a pretty stellar deal. Less just on over $3 a day. You won't get healing any cheaper than that.
No, absolutely. And they really are beautiful. Karnie has been doing this for a long time.
Years now.
Sorry, how long?
8 years now.
8 years. There's that eight again.
I know. How much is that coming into our life?
Oh, yeah. Eight, eight, eight. Everything eight at the moment with Karnie 9. But it goes hand in hand with the energetic work. So a lot of people who have done our personal energy work certification, which looks very much at cleansing and protecting your energy, that's the main focus of it, have moved into the healing with the archangels because they do work hand in hand. And it's beautiful work to be doing. It's a beautiful gift to give yourself. And, it doesn't matter what your religious or spiritual beliefs are, angels are for everybody. They really are.
100%. Good Christmas gift for yourself too, I think.
Most
Because the reality is what we forget a lot of the time is our connection to the divine should be our most important relationship. Connection to the divine, fill our own cup, then it's others and everybody else. But most of us, spend our time filling up people's cups and then wondering why we're depleted. Our courses help people to have flip the script on that and look at it differently.
Yeah, definitely. And by divine, we mean whatever that looks like for you, whether that's God and Jesus, whether it's Great Spirit, the goddess, whatever,
Yep.
Buddha. Yeah, that's right. So, everybody's welcome.
Yep, 100%. Wonderful.
So, our next episode.
Oh, you're a tease, aren't you?
Oh, yes. We're actually going to have a little look at how to cleanse the energy of gifts, of homes, and the residue after holiday gatherings. So stay tuned.
Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine releasing the rush, the noise, the pressure, returning to your natural rhythm of peace. Thank you for sharing this moment of calm with Ali and I. And remember, this season doesn't have to drain you, it can deepen you. Your awareness is your greatest protection, and your light is your greatest gift. And in our next episode, we'll explore how to hold sacred boundaries with love, learning that no can be the most healing word you will ever, ever speak. And up until then, keep your energy soft, your heart open, and your light anchored. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you for joining us.
Big love.